Hi everyone, Dr. Marlo Payne Thurman here with you today, and I am here to tell you about a new book that is coming out in the next couple of weeks, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So let me start by showing you a picture of the book title itself. So here's my book. It's Naturopathic Wisdom, a common sense mind-body approach for struggling children and teens. And this is really a compilation of stories that pertain to kind of an illness to wellness journey that I personally have been on for the last 20 years or so, that started with a traumatic brain injury and went through kind of dozens of medications and dozens of medical treatments as it related to my own life. But that was also happening kind of at the same time that I was working. And I've been working in mental health for about 30 years as a private practice school psychologist, and more recently as a licensed addictions counselor. And the book really kind of tracks those two stories together and really provides what I think is some really down to earth, good common sense wisdom for how to use the kind of the underlying foundations of naturopathy for the treatment of mental health in children and teens. And I think this is a body of work that we've kind of lost in the last 50 years. I think some of this stuff made sense and it was kind of more mainstream and more common sense back when I was a kid, like a lot of years ago. And I see so many of our kids today really struggling with their mental health. I see a lot of kids struggling with screen time addiction, kids who don't get outside, kids who are vegetarians but don't eat any vegetables, kids who are physically not strong. And I just see a real shift in our kids that we have coming through our mental health practices over the last, particularly 10 years, and like worse since COVID over the last, 2 or 3 years. And I just think that this book gives parents, educators, mental health practitioners a really good foundation of how to kind of think about naturopathic approaches. And by the way, the book has the list of all what is included in naturopathy. What is it, and how are naturopaths licensed, and what are the practices, and how can those be applied to children and teens? But throughout the book, I think that the book does a really nice job of really telling the story of kind of change through the past 50 years or so in terms of health and wellness for children, and how I believe that that's affecting the rising, increasing numbers that we see for mental health diagnosis in our kids today. And really, so it's not saying don't do traditional mental health, but maybe think about this in conjunction with kind of the things that we're already doing for a broader lens around treating the kind of complex social, emotional, mental health needs of children and teens and the problems that they're facing today. So again, I hope that you will take a chance and get a copy and um, enjoy it. Naturopathic Wisdom, a common sense mind-body approach for struggling children and teens. Thank you. Have a great day.